Welcome. This isn't your average movie podcast. We go where no man has gone before.
You know what I'm craving? A little perspective.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Say something, goddammit! You're on television! You're live to the whole world!
Join us as we review movies new and old. You're tuned into Lupo's Cinema Symposium. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of your favorite movie podcast on the whole wide world, Lupo's Cinema Symposium, the movie podcast where sometimes we watch a documentary. I'm joined, as always, my two co-hosts, the bestest friends in the whole wide world, Robbie and Christian. I'm Lupo, by the way. Guys, how's it going?
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
I've seen that movie. There you go. I got
What movie is
one.
it?
The Graduate.
There you go.
Robert
Hey, look at
Robert
that.
Redford. Is that not Robert Redford?
I don't know if Robert Redford's in that movie, but he's
Oh, it's-
definitely
hold on,
in
hold
the
on,
lead
hold on,
role.
hold on.
That's
It's-
kind of hilarious that the
it's,
one time he knew it. He got the.
It's-
he couldn't just take
Hold
the
on.
win. He got the actor wrong.
Hold on, I got it. It's on the tippy
I
tip of my
don't think
tongue.
he's in that movie.
He's
Like, even
not.
in, like,
It's
his
it's
running part.
somebody
Yeah.
else that I can't think of.
Yeah, I'm going to
Dustin
let you
Hoffman.
think on this because this is...
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay.
I said it.
I wasn't
Everyone did.
Fucking Dustin Hoffman.
There
fucking
you go.
amazing
Yeah,
actor.
I wouldn't have done that. I believe, if I remember correctly,
Hook.
when they were
Captain
making
Hook.
the movie, was he
Midnight Cowboy.
in the
Rain
initial
Man.
role? And they were like, "Why would you do this? You need a different kind of guy. You need a little
You know,
sleazy
he very
kind."
well could have been, but I don't know. He definitely wasn't in the finished product, Jimmy.
Anyway,
He's in
unfortunately,
Kung
instead
Fu
of
Panda.
reminiscing about good movies, we get to talk about this movie, the Velvet Underground Todd Haynes documentary, an Apple original that I saw on YouTube. Again, anytime I got beef with renting a movie, I have to bring it up first. $3.99 on YouTube, no big deal. But the video quality, 420p. What's up with that? I paid for Ultra HD. Only option that was available to me, 420p. Not cool.
I watched it for free on Apple TV.
Well, maybe I should have done that. So I guess this is a me pick. I put it in the pool. I believe, if I remember correctly, I was on a Letterboxd deep dive because you were talking about, I think Robbie was talking about the Nirvana movie. What's the Nirvana movie called?
Nirvana the band, the movie. That's
There you
not
go.
about Nirvana though.
No.
Well,
but that's probably why. Yeah.
Which is hilarious because this did kind of remind me of a Kurt Cobain documentary that I saw a while ago.
Montage Effect.
It was Montage Effect, which is okay.
Interesting. I actually really like that one.
Yeah.
But like comparatively, comparatively,
We'll
when I
get there.
saw that, I didn't really know anything about Nirvana, and that actually is what made me start listening to Nirvana.
Yeah, I have the soundtrack for the album on vinyl.
Yeah.
Actually.
so yeah, I
But
don't know.
anyway,
I was doing a Letterboxd deep dive, and somehow along the way I added this on a spree of music films. Maybe it was, I don't know, music biopics, and this just kind of sneaked itself in. I don't know.
So like it was an intriguing pick because Todd Haynes is like an acclaimed director.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of his movies. May December came out not that long ago. That was pretty big. But then he has a movie called Safe, which I saw with Julianne Moore. That was really, really good. So I thought it was kind of interesting. I didn't really know what to expect. I thought it was weird that he did a documentary. But yeah, so like it wasn't like a out of left. Like it made sense. The pick did.
Now, I've only seen one movie by him other than this, and it was the Bob Dylan movie. I'm Not There. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No, never heard of it.
Okay. He did that in like
unfortunately
2007,
even just
7 or 8.
documentaries in general, like movies, I didn't really see documentaries. None of it. This is probably my first documentary that I've seen since like they would wheel out dinosaur DVD tapes or something in elementary school.
So that's an interesting view of documentaries if you haven't seen one before. Um,
You know what? It
like,
depends on, I guess, what you want to define a documentary, because like I've
and
seen a lot of
that's what
video essays.
that's what my question really is to you. In your mind, what do you think a documentary is supposed to be? What is it supposed to accomplish?
Not necessarily. I don't know. I
Like, what is the main purpose of a documentary?
To inform, I guess.
Okay.
Well, like I don't know. Sometimes I guess it more is dependent on the topic. Like I'll watch a lot of like YouTube documentaries or video essays about like shit that's not. It's more like as a means of entertainment. It's not like serious stuff. Like it's not true crime where it's like covering like a serious thing or something that kind of has like a higher tone. I guess more like reverence because it's like a serious topic. Meanwhile, I'll like sit down and I'll watch an hour-long video about like the Pepsi giveaway or something.
Perhaps you could- Yeah, well, it's funny you mentioned true crime because they're very like dressed down, just the facts and some images kind of documentaries with like interviews sprinkled in. Which I guess you could say is like the basic components of most documentaries, but like something like this, whether or not you liked it or think it did a good job, we'll get into that, I'm sure. Like, definitely has a little bit more artistic expression going on instead of just like the plain, here are the facts, here's what happened, here's some images.
Yeah. What about you, Rob? What documentaries have you seen?
Just in general, I mean, there's plenty of great documentaries.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was Todd Haynes, I was like, I thought it could have been really good. Obviously, we'll talk about it. Didn't really end up liking it all that much. There's a documentary about the moon landing. I'm trying to remember the name now. For
Well,
All
it was
Mankind.
the Kubrick
That's what
film.
it's called. No, not that one. But For All Mankind, that's a really, really good documentary. And like that is good. I mean, this does some of it, but there's not. See, the thing with this movie is there wasn't enough like material. I felt like in that movie there was so much firsthand like footage of like what they're talking about. It was no interviews. Like they used audio, but pretty much like it was just playing footage and like letting it like speak for itself. Like this movie is sort of the opposite of that. So I thought it was interesting in the beginning how they shot. Like obviously you guys were kind of talking about it. Like it is artistic. Like you can see Todd Haynes was like trying to figure out a way to make it I guess interesting or have it have something to say.
I'll jump in
okay.
here for just 1 second on the artistic thing. Like, I will get into what I didn't like about this. But I will say I kind of did like that it felt like a collage, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like he took a
I
bunch of
agree.
like Lou Reed magazines and posted them on the wall, kind of feeling to it. Like,
Yeah.
now there are plenty of things I wasn't really too hot on in this, but that was one I did like. I liked the way things were put together and juxtaposed, and like you're seeing multiple things at the same time, even quite often. Like I liked that idea.
Yeah, and like jumping on the multiple things at the same time. That's kind of what, especially in the beginning, I was caught by like how they like if you came into this movie and you knew nothing about the band at all, the
Like,
way
you're-
it introduces obviously Kale and Lou Reed, it has on one side of the screen their face, and then on the other side, it's just B-roll of like different clips and footage, and I thought that was really interesting because rather than and you hear audio of an interview In Lou Reed's case, he's dead, so I think it was like a recorded interview. But
There's archival footage, yeah.
yeah, and people talking about him. But I thought that was really a really interesting way to introduce the audience to, the subjects, because rather than like saying a Netflix documentary, it's just an interview and you're just looking at the person. You're not seeing the old man talking about him back in the day. You're seeing the person as they were at the time,
hmm
and you're seeing the place. In many cases, like the places and the times on the other side of the screen, and it really allows you to like be in that moment and in that time. And it really set off like a very high bar for me. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I'm interested to see where this goes and like everything they cover, because like I wanted to ask you guys, I'm not the biggest Velvet Underground fan ever. Like I know some of their songs and I like them.
Um,
I don't really know a whole lot about them.
Do you know the
So-
ostrich? That's my favorite.
I like the Velvet Underground and Nico album. Um, I've had way more exposure to like Lou Reed as a soloist, I think.
Hmm.
Or like Transformer, that album, Take a Walk on the Wild Side, all that. When it comes to this kind of era, I'm definitely more like Bob Dylan, Iggy Pop, Leonard Cohen, kind of, that side of, I guess, this kind of music sphere. So it was interesting to like, you know, see more of them, I guess, but they were never really something that captured my interest as much as like those other people I mentioned.
Yeah. I just felt like, do we want to just start talking about
Well, I
the
will.
stuff we didn't like?
I will say, yeah, we can. I do want to say this is our second foray into the world of Andy Warhol through
Oh
film.
yeah, that's right. I wanted to bring that up
Who would
too.
have thought we would have done a second film about the avant-garde arts and Andy Warhol?
And it was funny hearing there's one clip where you can actually hear his voice, and all I could think was, oh,
Basquiat.
David Bowie really did a good job.
Yeah.
He sounds like David Bowie doing Andy Warhol.
Which is funny when you realize like David Bowie's a huge Lou Reed fan too.
Yeah, and I
And-
think they even used David Bowie. I think he was. They used some voiceover from him about Lou Reed or something.
Yeah,
During this.
yeah. It was
but,
it is our second like trip into the Greenwich Village kind of art life, which I thought was
Yeah.
fun.
So my big thing with this movie is, first of all, obviously, many of the band members are dead, or three of them, right? Three of them are dead, I think.
Three or
I could be
four.
wrong about that, but either way,
Yeah.
a few of them are dead. And the people that we have just honestly aren't that interesting, and I don't even know if they were all alive with the footage that they had and like the stories that they were talking about. None of it was interesting to me, to be honest. And I just think like, sure, like you're this abstract band and like you're kind of like they touch. I think the most interesting part was when they touch on like hippie culture and like how they were very different from that.
This is more like beat culture stuff. It felt like
Yeah.
yeah. Like I think
But,
they
like-
even mentioned like Allen Ginsberg at some point in the beginning.
Yeah. But like even that, it was only like it was almost like a offhand little segment of the movie. Most of the movie is dedicated to like really, honestly, really boring stories. I
Felt so
felt
too.
I felt like this distinctly felt like when you're talking to like your grandparent and they're a little older and they're telling a story and then they kind of get off track and they start bringing up like people in places that you don't know and you don't have context for, and you like can't really stop them, but you also like and you're also not interested in the story, but like you don't want to be rude, and they just kind of wander on, and eventually the story it just ends and you don't really get anything out of it. That's kind of what this movie felt like. It was like, all right, I got a bunch of info about a bunch of people who I don't feel like I know any more about than when I started, and I don't really have like any special reverence for. And even if like you were a fan of Velvet Underground, I just don't see what you would really get out of this. It feels like subject wise, it feels closer to like a PBS documentary than like any kind of like, I don't know.
Well, even then, like I can add on to this a little bit because
Mhm.
I mostly agree with you. Um, it lacked. I think even good documentaries, like regardless of what you're trying to do artistically, need some kind of narrative arc to them. And this just felt like a series of anecdotes and kind of like what you're saying. It felt like the Ken Burns part where they like do the letters to home, except they played Velvet Underground music.
Yeah.
But even Ken Burns, like it's part of a bigger narrative arc, and these stories didn't really have that. You
Yeah.
know, it just felt like jumping and meandering from one thing to the next. Like my one of my favorite documentarians, and I think I've probably talked about him on the podcast too because I like his movies, not just his documentaries. Is Werner Herzog.
Yeah.
And Werner Herzog, now his are very narration heavy, and like lots of long lingering shots, which this didn't need to be that, but he could film like paint drying and give it a narrative arc. He's just that kind of person, right? So like there is an arc here. Like the Velvet Underground is such a well documented band. I mean, for Christ's sakes, they hung out with fucking Andy Warhol. Like he had a camera with him all the time, right? Like you could have made this a clear structure. You could have like focused on the artistic journeys of Lou Reed and everybody else, but like I just didn't get that out of this.
Yeah. Like even it's not really a fair comparison because it's a different kind of documentary. But like even looking at something like the Beatles, like documentary Get
Hard Day's
Back.
Night. Oh, Get Back. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm
Not
thinking,
Beatles.
yeah, I'm thinking of
Yeah.
Get Back. Yeah, I mean, even though a lot of what I feel a lot of what you see in that documentary is stuff you already know about them. It felt interesting because you're actually like seeing them you're seeing them in a new way, and it feels like you're getting to know a little bit of their character underneath like the exterior persona, and this didn't
This
feel like
didn't
that.
feel
This
like that.
almost felt
No.
like it almost felt like a, I don't know, like a puff piece type of like in memoriam almost of the band. It was like kind of depressing, honestly. Um, but
Good documentaries can also be depressing, just not like that.
yeah, not
Yeah.
it's not depressing because of the subject matter. It's depressing because of, I guess, just how it comes off. I
It's not
guess.
Grey Gardens depressing.
Yeah.
It's just in a fucking insane documentary. I know Robbie, you've probably seen it, but
No, not yet. I think we've talked about it before though. Like I've been
um,
meaning to watch it.
do you know of the show Documentary Now?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. And this felt like a fucking hour and like 2 hour long Documentary Now episode.
That show's I love documentary now. It's so good.
That and Portlandia is so good.
Yeah.
Also,
Sometimes a lot of there's documentaries where I've seen them after I've seen the episode that
so
like
you've seen the Grey
documentary
Gardens
now is like
Documentary Now
doing its
episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's oftentimes the documentary now is better. But
I'm
yeah,
not
I don't
gonna
know.
lie. It's 2 hours and change, I think.
Oh,
At like
it felt so long.
the hour-long mark, I was like, "Oh, I must be done. It must be." And I looked, and I was like, "Oh, there's another
Oh
hour."
wow, that's I had a completely different experience.
Really?
Oh, really?
I was watching it and it did feel slow, but after it ended, I was like, that didn't feel very long.
Ah.
I
I was like,
also
oh, it's over.
I think it's just
I envy
because
you.
they don't. I feel like there was more. Like I get that they kind of just stopped making music and they all kind of like went their own ways. I wish there was like something a little bit more than just like a text on the screen and if
Yeah.
they died or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this was not an intimate look at anybody. Like, and that's
No.
the unfortunate part about it.
They kind of gave an intimate look more into the dude. What was the one dude that was just like, yeah, I was a fan of the band, man. I really love the music. I get it. And then I did some songs and I was allowed to hang out. I was like, wow, they really kind of let this guy have like a whole spotlight here. He was just a
The
guy.
only The only part that I felt was really interesting to me was when the Nico started getting involved, because I like that album. I know like vaguely who she is, so it was cool to see some of the story there of like the artistic pushback from her and Lou, against Andy and all that. But like at the end of the day, even that wasn't enough. You know what I was like? I want more of that. I want to know the whole story. Like they just
Yeah,
kind of moved on from it, like very casually.
that and like I listened to a podcast like series about the Velvet Underground beforehand as well, trying to get my knowledge up. And a lot of the they do focus on some, obviously they reference their like people who gave them inspiration or where they took it from, but I actually found it more interesting looking at all of those people and like not even like the uh avant-garde people, but even just like in the beginning of was it John Cale, the dude that was in Wales, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
There's like
Yes.
a whole section that they talk about when he was like a music prodigy in Wales and all that, and like his um like he was like playing stuff, but the person that he took inspiration from basically was like the making rock music through like classical works. Like there's like a specific song or like thing that he does. I forget the name of it right now, but like you hear it and it is just like guitar like riffs that you would hear on like a regular rock song. So it was, I thought all of that was pretty cool. But that's not in the that's not in the movie. They're more just like, yeah, this is this guy. He was cool with the guys. This guy makes music that drones, and this piece is
Yeah, they
45
spent a lot of
minutes.
time about the droning, and I think that's when they started to lose me, to be honest. Because you guys were talking about an hour in, Jim, and Christian, you got through the whole thing. I looked up at 20 minutes, and I'm like, how much is left in this? I was I was cooked, man. This was really long. I was very early on. I was super out. I was like, I don't like where this is going, and it kind of never really drew me back in. It just felt really. It got very sidetracked, and like I wanted to learn more about the band because like I said, I'm a casual like enjoyer of their music. I don't really know a lot about them, and I just got absolutely nothing out of it. Um, and I think like Todd Haynes in general, I will say his movies can be like they don't really hold your hand. He is kind of like an unforgiving filmmaker. Like I think that's why he has very hardcore fans, because he is like a little bit of a risk taker, and he's not he's not generic, you know what I mean? He will mess with the structure of things and stuff. But in this case I just felt like he had so little to work with. It was almost like he was trying to make something out of nothing. Because the actual content of the documentary, like I mean, I'm thinking about like certain stories they told, but like for like I would say 90% of this just in one ear and out the other. Like I didn't feel I had like context for to like place a lot of this stuff, and it just felt like I was like I said, it's just information being thrown at me, and I'm like, I don't even know where I am right now. So I don't know. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy myself at all. About 20 minutes in, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I will say I kind of had a similar experience. I was just like, oh, when did they get together? They're just like a band now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
didn't really
like, there's no,
explain
like I said, there's
any
no
of
there's
that.
no narrative arc whatsoever. Like you don't know
Uh,
any more about the Velvet Underground from watching this
Yeah,
than you
no.
would just fucking listening to an album.
like the ostrich. That's what got the band together. That would have been cool
It's a
to
little
know.
bit like it's a little bit like self-aggrandizing. I feel like it doesn't really like what is the point of making a documentary if it's not to introduce this band to a new generation? Like, is it just to like relive your hits? Like, isn't that going against everything and like to pat yourself on the back for being like, oh, we were abstract, we were different. Like,
it was
isn't
an
that
homage.
everything that goes against what they stood for?
It was just like to pay homage to them. That's really all it felt like, which is great, but like it doesn't really accomplish anything for a viewer a lot of the
Yeah.
times.
And I
Like-
do kind of wonder, like if a hardcore fan would enjoy this.
I feel like
I
You know
think
what I
people
mean?
would. Yeah. Like I said, because Montage of Heck, well, while it does have, a more cohesive narrative, does feel like this in some certain areas. And I appreciated that movie. I don't know if you took someone who didn't know who Nirvana was, if they would like that
See,
movie.
that was me though. I knew nothing about them. I just knew Kurt Cobain like died or something, and that I had no, and I really got a lot out of that movie.
Okay,
because
so
I feel like
so that's
that
where that succeeds and this
chronologically,
fails. Right. Okay.
yeah, that chronologically made sense. I felt like it was telling a story about this guy, and it focused on him too. That was the other thing. Whereas this, it's like it's kind of all over the place. It's kind of erratic. They don't really know who to focus on when. It kind of just jumps around to different times where different members like contributed something or did something or hey, they met this person. It was like I don't know.
Yeah. What are some standout documentaries for you, Rob?
Well, For All Mankind, I mentioned that. That's like an all-time documentary. I think that's in the Criterion. That I recommend that to anybody. Like, it's honestly like you think you know about the moon landing, and then you watch that, and you're like, damn, like this is really actually one of the craziest things we've ever done. But aside from that, I mean, I really love. It's not a movie, but I love The Last Dance. I think that's like just amazing documentary filmmaking because the subject is entertaining. Like Michael Jordan is entertaining, his interviews are entertaining, and then like when you watch the story is just great because of who he was and how good that team was, and you actually you have the footage to work with. So like there's all these things working together with that. Other than that, I would say I liked that Beatles documentary. I saw I saw that movie last year that I think it won the Oscar. The Putin movie. What was that called?
Yeah.
Mr. Nobody Against Putin. That's
Yep.
what it was. That was pretty good. And again, all these things, the thing that kind of ties them all together is one, an interesting subject, but then also it's not just like pictures and videos of like random shit. It's like they actually have good subject matter to work with. It's, the filmmaker's empowered to make something interesting.
Yeah.
And like, you have the Ken Burns style of filmmaking too. And, there's a place for that, I'm sure, but I feel like that's a little bit more academic too. And
That's okay though. Yeah.
yeah, oh, absolutely. But it also didn't feel like this was that like that either. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, what about you, Jim? Documentaries?
Nah, I'm not really. I mean,
Nothing.
I'm like a YouTube
You watch
video
YouTube.
essay. Yeah,
yeah,
like, I don't
YouTube
know, like,
documentaries.
I had to
Dude.
specifically mention anybody. Maybe like Apollo Legend, if anybody wants to look that up. He does a lot of like speed running, like talking about speed running. He had a great series with Billy Mitchell, which was a whole thing. But
You guys watch any Louis Theroux?
no,
I've been meaning
Great,
to.
great documentary.
Yeah, and
filmmaker.
Rob, I think we've traded Thoreau and Herzog titles at each other before.
Yeah.
Like Herzog for me, like if you don't know Werner Herzog, Jimmy, you've probably heard his voice and you don't even know it.
the one with the bear.
Grizzly Man, that's a fucking great documentary. That like Cave of Forgotten Dreams, Into the Abyss. I mean, there's so fucking many, and they're all very like pensive and like like existential and like really focusing on the human condition. And so there's that style, which again, this doesn't really touch either, in my opinion. Um, it came out when like tail end of high school. Did you guys see the James Baldwin documentary?
No, I know what you're talking about though. I think is
Not
that
I.
like the HBO one or whatever, or maybe
Maybe.
it's on HBO or something. I don't know.
What was it called?
Um,
I can't remember the name. And I'm thinking about it like that really was a really cool documentary. Oh, I Am Not Your Negro, taken out of like one of his essays.
Oh yeah,
Really good documentary. And that's more like historical and educational too. So
Hmm.
I feel like for a band, right? And I don't want to hammer too like hard on this narrative structure point, but like there it's so easy to be like these are the members, this is where they came from, this is how they started the band, this is how they met Andy Warhol and Nico and got into Greenwich Village and started developing experimental music, and this is how they split up and this is what happened to them after. It's so easy to do that. It's almost incredibly easy. And the fact that this documentary missed that, it really sad. I think what it does well is capture some kind of artistic style that is very in tune with the style of the band. But outside of that, like I don't know. This doesn't hit like all the documentaries we listed. Like it doesn't hit any of the criteria that
yeah,
make those good.
yeah. It almost feels like the opposite of what the maybe that's purposefully because it is an Apple doc. It almost feels like the opposite of everything Netflix documentaries are because they're like straight popcorn entertainment value, like not much in the way of risk taking or singular style or vision, and so
Speaking
it's
speaking of Jim, you didn't even see Tiger King. That would count as a documentary, a docu
No, I
series.
oh yeah.
haven't. I know the
Oh
I
my
know the
gosh.
bit. I was actually
Yeah, but
thinking,
you've seen a lot of those, like Netflix true crime is like its own industry
yeah.
at this point. You've seen a
Yeah.
lot of
Like
them,
what's
I'm sure.
the sports one? Untold?
Untold, yeah, that's
Yeah, I've
like a perfect
seen
example
3 or 4 of them.
of a lot of them. They all follow the same formula.
The 30 for
They
30
all are
kind of.
Yeah.
safe. Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
safe, and they just give you information and make it consumable. And
Mhm.
that's fine for what it is too. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. But a lot of the time, that falls flat too.
Oh wait, I got
But in
one.
a different
We
way.
actually talked about this for one of our podcasts. The Mr. McMahon doc that Netflix dropped.
Yeah.
So I'm such a
That
silly
was a little
goose.
better just because at least he was directly involved.
Yeah.
Like he was interviewed, I mean. So like it was interesting. There was novelty just from that. Like you don't get that very often. Um this didn't really have that. I mean, a lot of them are dead. John Cale's alive, but to be honest, I didn't get a lot out of anything he said. I really didn't.
Well,
Um
maybe to risk us not talking in circles, do we want to move straight into ratings?
yeah, we can.
Yeah. I'll start this. I'll light this candle. I'm gonna give it a 2 star. I enjoy um the actual content of the doc, the people, the the music, the everything kind of just the way that it was the package was not in a pretty little bow for me, which is fine. I'm sure if you were a super fan or even just a regular fan of the Velvet Underground, you're going to be like, "Yeah, man, this is awesome" cuz it's probably a lot of things that you've already heard or seen or whatever. So, but unfortunately, I'm just not that individual. I only maybe know 1 or 2 off the top of my head, but 2 stars from me.
I'm gonna agree with you. I also gave it 2 stars. Just boring. That's all I have to say about it. Just a boring movie, boring documentary.
I was a shade more forgiving perhaps, but I gave it 2.5 because I really did like the artistic direction of it,
Hmm.
and I think it really does have the same frequency of direction that they would have liked in some degree or another. But I also agree with everything you guys said. I think maybe slightly more impressed with the composition of it.
You know, maybe that's the point. Maybe we're just not the target audience. Or maybe it's designed to not be enjoyed. Mm.
I don't
Hmm.
think that's
Like I don't know.
I don't think that's it.
I'm getting too deep. I'm getting too deep. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna load up. We're doing the wheel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna load up the wheel.
We can talk
My
about
favorite- my
movies
favorite
we
part.
watch.
Yes.
Yeah, I
if
can
you
start.
want.
Before you do that, viewer that's listening to the podcast right now, it'd be super cool of you if you could hit that like button, that subscribe, or check out any of the other socials. That'd be great. All right, go ahead, guys.
Sure, I'll do a couple movies and a series or two maybe. I saw Pearl, the Ty West movie.
Sheesh.
Let me say this. Let me say this. I have never watched any of them other than X, and that's why I never watched any other. But Pearl was slightly better than X. I'll
I
give
agree.
it that. I will
I
give
agree.
it that.
I thought
Um,
you
and
liked
then
me.
Yeah, it was slightly better. I still didn't like it. He's just not for me, and that's fine. Another horror movie I watched, Send Help, the Sam Raimi movie. Um, gonna be honest, I didn't really like it all that much.
Oh, really? I'm
I dude,
surprised.
dude, I wanted to, right? But it just felt it was fun, but like it didn't feel like Sam Raimi enough for me. Like I was like anyone could have done this. I mean, you put him behind a camera and you can tell the difference. That's not what I'm
Hmm.
talking about. I just feel like it wasn't like it didn't have the taste of a Sam Raimi movie, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was fun also. It wasn't like the best movie ever, but I had a good time with it.
I would say it was middling for me. Like I didn't hate it. It was just weird. I don't know.
And
Which is
also,
kind
the
of a cop
plot
out.
is basically Triangle Sadness. Like
Yeah, among
almost
other
exactly.
plots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically if it's not that, it's kind of like Misery, like, which is fine. It can be like things. And then I watched Monsters of God, the docu series on HBO. Kind of the same line as like Tiger King and Chimp Crazy, but with like reptiles. It was really cool.
Oh yeah, that dude went on Joe Rogan. I was listening to him talk about iguanas and turtles.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have watched my first Tarkovsky movies. Speaking of being made not for enjoyment, that's pretty much
real,
what they
dude.
are. Yeah, but
They're so
they were
good.
great. They were great. So I watched Solaris first. I thought that was awesome. Really caught me off guard how good it was.
Oh, great movie, dude! I'm so excited for you.
And then I saw Stalker as well. That in a way felt like Velvet Underground in that it was like exhausting to watch, but it was much better too, and it gave me more to think about versus Velvet Underground. Didn't give me a whole lot. So, yeah, they're really good. I think one day that's probably the dream is to get Jimmy
Yeah.
to watch one of them, but I think we'll have to set him up for that.
They're very
first. It's not
Bergman.
something you can just jump into.
Do you know what I mean? Like they're very Bergman in their
Oh
own.
yeah. You get the most out of it after it's done.
Yes, dude.
Really what
Dude, we have to have a conversation about this later. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. And then I watched a bunch of new stuff I didn't like that much. I rewatched Days of Future Past. I didn't really like it as much as I used to. Maybe that's something for another day. I did watch The Invite. That's a newer movie. That's the Seth Rogen movie. And I kind of went into it cynically. I've seen a lot of people kind of glazing it, and I was like, all right. Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen, like, whatever. It's exactly what you think it is at first, and then it becomes something else, and it is honestly a little bit moving. Like it caught me off guard. It was very emotional. I was like, damn, this actually has something to say. So I definitely recommend that. It was a pretty good movie. Other than that, one weird one I watched. I watched the FBI Story with Jimmy Stewart. The weird thing with this story, there's a couple weird things with it, but the main thing is apparently it was made like with direct involvement from J. Edgar Hoover. So like it was basically a propaganda film. And I thought that was really interesting. I'm like, oh, this is going to be really weird, and it wasn't. It was just really boring. But one cool thing is if you've seen Killers of the Flower Moon, they actually cover that crime in the movie. They just changed the name. So like I was watching it and they're like Jimmy Stewart's solving this case, and I'm like, this sounds very familiar, and it was from Killers of the Flower Moon. So that was cool. But yeah,
Don't forget.
that's pretty much it for me.
Don't forget. You got hooked on the Fast and Furious franchise.
Jim, I have bad news for you.
Don't say. I just want to hear that you watched all the movies. I don't want to hear your
I
thoughts on
didn't.
this.
I
What?
didn't.
Well, at least
So
three.
I
right?
watched. We talked about it. I watched 1 and 2. That's where we last left it, I guess. I watched Tokyo Drift, and that's probably the best one, to be honest. That one
Correct.
is absolute gas. I mean, that movie is probably just a classic, honestly. Then I watched the 4th one, and that was like truly an awful movie, and ruined everything I liked about it. It had none of it. And then I tried to watch 5, and I was like, damn, I'm not even going to finish this. I don't want to watch this. And I didn't watch it, and I never went back to it.
Is 5 where it jumped the shark a little bit?
I think
No,
4.
4 is
Yeah.
4 is pretty bad.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why now I
4,
could
she
say.
like his wife or his girlfriend, whoever she is, Michelle Rodriguez. She like dies, and Vin Diesel's like going after her, and Paul Walker's like a cop again for some reason, and it's like it's just a fucking stupid movie, man. And you don't care about anything that happens. It's just like, and Paul Walker, by the way, something happened between 2 and 4. No swag. All the swag is gone. They took my boy's swag from him.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Anyway.
I will take this opportunity real quick. Just because Robbie mentioned him, and I want to shout out a really good movie. If you like Tarkovsky, and I guess this is for Robbie too, Mirror. Mirror is one of my favorite Tarkovsky movie. Robbie, you'll probably like it. You liked Wild Strawberries, you'll like that. That's all I wanted to say.
I haven't seen any movies besides what I'm legally obligated to for the podcast, so I will regale you about the tales of books that I have read. I went over and I had a vacation in the mountains, and I read a bunch of books. I read Fahrenheit 451, 1984, Death of a Salesman, and the Screw Tape Letters. Banged out a bunch of stuff. My brain is now at least 10% bigger, and hopefully by the end of the year, I will be looking like Megamind. So yeah. So let's get into the best part of the podcast where we choose the next movie for us to review. I have a list here of 299 movies, and we're going to click on it in 3, 2, 1. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. I can't even see it. Oh, let's go. Baby Driver.
Oh, that's a great one. All right, yeah.
Let's go. You're
That's
too
a
good
fun
for
pick.
this world, Robbie.
Anything's better than fucking Not Cool by Shane Dawson.
We watched Christian, were you there? Did we watch this all in theaters together?
No, I don't think he was there.
I went with my other friend group. I saw this. I know what theater I saw this in.
Wow.
I can remember the night. Yeah.
I saw it before I saw it with Jimmy, and I did that on purpose because when we went to see it the second time, he would not shut up the entire movie. It pissed me off.
Would you rather? I don't think I'm saying too much, but we have a friend that Robbie and I used to go to the movies with.
Oh
who
my
would
God!
fall
No,
asleep
no,
and
no, no,
snore.
no, 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 no. Jimmy, I'll take Jimmy over him. That was terrible.
I
So
will
bad.
say
He would
that
snore
was
so loud.
that was one movie that I was like, I forget who I was talking to the whole movie with. Rob happened to be to my left, and I just kept leaning over to my right, and we were making jokes. And we'll talk about it for the podcast. But at the most,
There's a
crucial
lost
moment-
episode where very similar thing happened with the same person. You might say.
Yeah, because we all watched that together. I had a horrible time.
Yeah, on the lost episode, the Jack
I had
the
a
Bear
horrible
lost
time.
We'll save that for another day.
once we finally get the Patreon going, that's gonna be the first episode that gets uncovered. The lost episode.
You know what? If you get the Patreon going and I get a slice of that, yeah, we can do that again.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. If you want to see us, if you want to see that, we won't even talk about it. I'm going to tease it forever. If you want to see that, you know what you got to do. All right, any last words, gentlemans?
Spin it.
Don't forget to.
Oh, we
spam
spinned
your
it
bets.
already. We spun it. We got the. I forgot.
Spin it.
I already forgot. Me when I'm the Garfield meme with Alzheimer's. Remember that? That was fun. Anyway, goodbye.
Spin it.
My lasagna.
Spin it. You have to put that at the end of every episode now. Spin it. Put that on the soundboard.
Soundboard's just going to be only clips of Robbie.